afternoon. You're watching KTN Newsdesk. My name is Najma Ismail, and here are the highlights. Hague courts hold status conference in preparation for Ruto Sang case. As billions of university funds are misappropriated. And moving on to business, Dubai-based Al-Futtaim Group poised to buy troubled auto dealer CMC. Welcome back. Now, the ICC Status Conference is currently ongoing, and it is at The Hague. Well, it will set the trial rules and any clarifications that might arise during the trials. The trials, which are expected to start tomorrow, will run daily until the 4th of October. Journalists will today have a chance to ask questions about after the status conference, that is. And we're also told that Joshua Arap Sang is already at The Hague, and the Deputy President William Ruto is expected to leave the country for The Hague later today.
The identities of the two new witnesses, given the eventual possibility that the trial chamber may grant a pending defense request for leave to appeal the decision, and on the further eventual possibility, I may say, that the appeals chamber may reverse that decision of the 3rd of September 2013 if leave to appeal is granted. Question is this, and this is the question on which we seek limited submissions. Assuming, prosecutor, the materialization of those two eventual possibilities, and that the two witnesses do not end up, indeed, testifying after disclosure of their identities.
Now, Deputy President William Ruto flew out of the country this morning and attended his trial at The Hague. Ruto departed from the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport at 8:30 a.m. aboard a Dutch airline. He was escorted by high-ranking government officials, including Cabinet Secretary Kazungu Kambi, Engineer Michael Kamau, Najib Balala, Felix Kosgei, and Ali Wario. A number of legislators were also present. Journalists had a rough time accessing Deputy President, who kept off the glares of the cameras on his departure. He told the leaders present, and I quote, "Gentlemen, take care of this great nation before leaving." Ruto is facing trial over crimes committed during the 2007 and 2008 post-election violence. He will be at The Hague for 3 consecutive weeks. We now join Masi Kandie, who is in Eldoret. Masi Kandie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Najma.
Good afternoon. Tell us how the mood is there.
Yes, thank you very much, Najma. We are live in Eldoret Town, the hometown of the Deputy President, William Ruto. The mood here is calm. People are waiting for the Hague hearing to start tomorrow. It is one of their leaders who is on trial, William Samoei Arap Ruto, who was also formerly the Member of Parliament for Eldoret North. So yes, people are waiting for the hearing to begin tomorrow so that they can be able to follow the proceedings from the television set. But as we speak to you, the mood here in Eldoret is calm. Najma?
I believe that the live broadcast has been cancelled. How are people taking that?
Yes, indeed, Najma. We spoke to the ICC outreach coordinator, Ms. Maria Mabinti Kamara, who said that they had scheduled for a live broadcast to have happened in the areas that were most affected during the 2007-2008 post-election violence. One of the violence hotspots was Eldoret Town, Kiambaa, Burnt Forest, and ICC had arranged that as of tomorrow there would be live proceedings on screens within the town and Kiambaa and also Burnt Forest, but they were cancelled because what she said security concerns, because I mean Eldoret Town is home to some of the victims and is also home to the leader, William Ruto, so there were security concerns. Putting a group of people together watching these hearings could raise security issues. But she says that live broadcasts that were to be set up in Kisumu, Kitale, Nakuru, and Kisii will continue. Najma?
We move away from the ICC here and now go to the IDPs. I believe that reports indicate that only one camp has been closed and there are 3 more left.
Yes, it was really for the victims of the post-election violence. Eldoret being one of the worst hit areas during that season here in the country. It had various IDP camps. And just before the government said that they would close and shut down all IDP camps in the country, Eldoret Town had 4 IDP camps. But when the president and the deputy president, William Ruto, visited these camps in Eldoret, they got to shut down one camp. This is Naka within the Yamumbi IDP camp that had the largest number of IDPs. It had about 242 families in the Naka IDP camp. But 3 others remain open. These are Kaimunje IDP that has about 68 households. Sakasaka has about 51, and also Block 10 has about 27 families living in that IDP camp within Eldoret Town. So yes, as much as the 242 are relieved to leave this tents that they have been living in for over 5 years now, these 3 other camps will continue to remain open. But, however, the chairman of the internally displaced persons here in Eldoret says they have lodged their grievances to the resettlement board, to the government, so that they can also get to be resettled. Najma?
Well, thank you very much, Masi Kandia, there in Eldoret, keeping us up to speed with the happenings of the county ahead of tomorrow's trial. We move on now. Allegations are now emerging that public universities in the country have embezzled at least 3.9 billion shillings, being half of 7.8 billion shillings disbursed by the government as payment of basic salaries and house allowances for staff members. Addressing a press conference this morning here in Nairobi, the union officials, Dr. Charles Mukwaya and Ombunya Wayaya, called upon the government to carry out an urgent countrywide forensic audit across the 31 universities and colleges that they now accuse of hoarding the funds, which they claim have to a larger extent benefited the vice chancellors and the principals.
We are hereby demanding that universities must now pay the rest of the money that they are hoarding forthwith. In line with that demand, we are also demanding, this is directed to the government, that the government must institute immediately an in-depth and thorough forensic audit. This money actually has gone into individual managers of our universities' pockets. If you look at some of the allowances that these managers are now enjoying, you will wonder where they are getting that money from. Curiously, 2 of those universities, Multimedia and the University of Eldoret, have not even paid a cent to those members of staff ever since they received the second and the last tranche of 3.9 billion shillings last month.
Waeleze kwamba pesa hizo walizopewa zimekwenda wapi? Je, zilitumika kama jinsi ilivyokusudiwa ama kuna mtu ameziboronga pesa hizo? Na kama ameziboronga, vipi serikali inakubali masuala hayo kufanyika?
Well, the Cord Coalition is still pushing for a referendum for a review of the devolution funds from the current 15% to 40%. Speaking in Kitui County at a fundraiser, Cord Party leader Raila Odinga said they will launch a signature collection exercise across the country to lobby for the 1 million signatures required for a referendum. Raila was accompanied by other Cord members, including former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, Kitui Senator David Musila, Kitui Governor Julius Malombe, and several members of Parliament. They raised concern over the high cost of living, which has diversely affected prices of basic commodities.
What you're dealing with is people in leadership who are not in touch with the reality of the Kenyan situation. Nilisema jana mwingi, haipaswi kutoza umaskini wetu ushuru. You actually overtax poverty.
Katiba imesema ukitaka hiyo referendum unatafuta sahihi ya wananchi. Ukipata milioni moja imetosha gari. Inafanyika. Hiyo ni pekee yake. Ndio sababu nasikia kwamba hivi karibuni tutaanza mambo ya kusanya masahihi ya wananchi kama unataka referendum au la. Mimi nataka kuuliza nyinyi, mko tayari? Mko tayari kuweka sahihi?
Well, the government has beefed up security in the clash-prone area of Moyale, and the Kenya Defence Forces are now keeping a close eye on any likely attacks from the neighboring communities across the border. The Cabinet Secretary for Interior and Coordination of National Government, Joseph Ole Lenku, made this statement this morning when he received a delegation from Mombasa County led by Governor Hassan Joho in the signing of a security collaboration between national government and Mombasa County. The brief ceremony was also witnessed by the Inspector General of Police, David Kimayo. Governor Joho announced a donation of 12 vehicles by his county government to the national government as a gesture of cooperation in the war against crime. Joho urged other counties to emulate his example.
Yeah. We have seen the insecurity situation in Moyale. We have in several locations called official leaders from Moyale, the county government of Moyale, and various other leaders in the communities to interact with us and discuss a number of issues. We have also beefed and increased the number of security personnel to make sure that law and order is maintained. With the information that there could have been some elements coming outside the country from the neighboring countries, I also want to say that KDF is watching very keenly to make sure that we don't have outsiders interfering with the activities of Moyale.
We know the role of the national government, and I realize that it is the core function of providing security of national government. But as leaders, we are serving the same people, the same Kenyans, and therefore this is an initiative that I'm going to plead and call upon all other counties to follow suit, emulate what Mombasa community has done.